Last night I tended to define homonormative as something I personally saw as normal in the gay community, and I think maybe I jumped the gun a little bit when it came to defining homonormative with respect to my perspective on the whole thing. And I think the articles I read on homonormative behavior were largely, in my defense, I think they were largely based on an American view of homonormative, and definitely maybe even a media view of what homonormative is. Although, and again, in my defense, I would have to say, being Canadian kind of distorts the given meaning of homonormative. It's the dictionary meaning of homonormative, because I believe, based on my own experience, that there is a certain multiplicity that happens when one thinks of queer identity. I don't think it's unusual for a Canadian to think that way. There's still a lot of structural and institutional exclusory practices, and there's still discrimination and moral issues of concerning acceptance and normalcy, to be blunt, when it comes to issues of queerdom, transsexuality, queer women, questioning bisexual. There's still a lot of stigma, but I mean, those things never really go away in whatever context. But my point being is, in the Canadian one, there seems to be a more pluralistic understanding of queer identity that I don't think the homonormative, as happens in the United States, happens in Canada. There's a much more I think you know what I'm trying to say. Like, in Canada, at least I don't necessarily, when I think of the homonormative, I generally feel that it's a bit more diffused and a bit more diverse. So I don't think about the white muscular gay man, like a middle class gay man. I kind of there is something to be said about that, but I don't necessarily automatically think that when I think queer life, and it probably has something to do with me being brown and of South Asian descent, but originally or really from the Caribbean. So maybe that plays into it as well. I want to be careful about how I define homonormative, but I just have this feeling that there's a lot of other people, including white people and middle class, lower class, that think plurally when it comes to queer identity. There's also the idea that when you say homonormative, you're not just talking about a role or an archetype. You're also thinking about a perception of what is normative. To go back to the root word or the family of the word heteronormative, which doesn't talk too much about race and gender and stuff. It in its purest form, it talks about heterosexuality, like straight sexuality, or the straight culture. And homonormative doesn't actually talk about homosexual culture, as it is a fabricated word that refers to a white middle class gay male who's muscular, and that's sort of, it's almost as if they took heteronormativity, called it homonormativity, but just threw in the word gay. And I know that comes with a bunch of kind of issues and complications as well. So, but that's what it feels like to me. I could be right or wrong. I'm trying to write something about it, but I don't know if I'll ever release it. But that's what it is. That's what it is to me. I can't tell you otherwise right now. Anyway, so yeah, that's about it. Have a good one. Bye.